Alright chat, time to lock in. I'm sure when you saw this video, you audibly said no. But hear me out. Now, in terms of the question, does Sonic need a redesign? Yes and no. We all know how Sonic was created. To have the personality of one of the presidents and to look like Mickey Mouse essentially. But he's evolved. Ever since Adventure, they've been making my boy look different. And now we settle with today, where we have two current designs of Sonic. We have the movie Sonic and we have the game Sonic. And for some reason, the game Sonic just irks the fuck out of me. Now, if I can be totally honest, there's nothing really wrong with Sonic's character models or Sonic's looks in the games. Like, he's always retained basically the same look. As the years have gone on, though, they've sort of made Sonic take on this look that I'm not really the biggest fan of, because he lacks any sense of style he had in the early 2000s or in the 90s or just at any point at all. And you can really feel this in the 3D renders. Like, oh my god, some of these 3D renders that you be seeing on like cups and backpacks look terrible. Why did they make him look like that? He looks so emotionless. And I feel like a huge point of some of these models are really important things. Like, for instance, the eyes. Sonic's eyes weren't always that big, so I don't know why at some point they just kind of made Sonic's whole entire head his eye. And I don't really care whether Sonic has one really big eyeball or two eyeballs. I don't really care. But damn, man, leave some space for the rest of your head. Another problem I have with the model is the limbs, the hands, the feet. They're all like weird. Like, Sonic's whole entire body is so small and his limbs are so noodly, but he's got these really big ass hands and they don't really serve a purpose. Like, I could understand classic Sonic, but for 3D Sonic, I mean, you gotta thicken my man out or lengthen him out, do something with him. Why does Sonic's hands reach past his knees and all the way to his socks? And with limbs so weirdly proportioned, it leads to animations looking weird or stiff because his whole entire body is just hands, shoes, and his head. Now, my favorite character model from the series is Sonic Heroes. There isn't really like a nostalgia bias there. I just think the characters look really good in that game. I don't know why. But you can even see it in these models that they've at least got some sort of sauce. When you compare it to the ones in Frontiers and even Shadow Gens to a degree, they kind of just look, I don't know, normie? Now, when I say Sonic needs a redesign, I'm not saying put more clothes on him, take less clothes off. I'm not really into that. You may be. More power to you. But what I'm really talking about is his design. Sonic's design will always stay the same. Red shoes, blue body, yada yada yada. But there are some things that the team could do to make him look better from both an animation standpoint and both from a character standpoint. Like, for instance, tell me if I'm wrong, but isn't Sonic a hedgehog? So shouldn't he have like some degree of fur? And I know they've been adding fur into the games recently, especially with the new Shadow Gens DLC, which looked incredible, by the way. Adding fur to these characters wouldn't hurt them at all. It actually would look great because, oh yeah, they're hedgehogs, they're animals. I also think, hear me out, I wouldn't be opposed if the team decided they would separate the eyes and give Sonic two separate ones. It looked pretty good in the Shadow Gens DLC, and whenever they add the Sonic movie model to any game, it looks pretty good. Now, I will say they will have to make it look a lot better because it looks kind of weird. Again, they make the eyes super big for some odd reason. Like, it's okay, they don't have to take up the entire head, but it would give Sonic a huge range of emotion. You know, something he kind of needs because he's the main character, and I'm tired of looking at his stilted face and stilted emotions. Now, one thing I will say that I do like that they keep the sort of side mouth thing. I like that. That's something that is Sonic's thing. And if they are to really put at least the movie models into the game, or if they are to ever change it, please keep the side mouth. His Shadow Gens DLC looks really weird because his mouth is in the middle, and I don't think I've ever liked that on Sonic, ever. Now, am I saying to port the movie versions of the characters into the game completely and have them replace the characters? No, I'm not saying that, not by a long shot. As much as I really do like the Sonic movie model, it's got some flaws. If they were to ever redesign Sonic and make him look more like movie Sonic, I would just be happy with the smaller hands and shoes the little bit longer limbs, and the 2 separate eyes. That's all you have to give me. Oh, and the fur. And the fur. You can keep your middle mouth in the movies, and you can most definitely keep your blue arms. Please, tan my man's arms. Come on. Another point of contention I have with these models is that they look really weird when it comes to being next to humans, what the Sonic games really like to put these characters with. And you could especially tell that in Shadow Gens because it looks just so weird. Like, Shadow's hands are bigger than Maria's by a whole long shot. Like, goddamn, you could cup her face, you can cup her head with those hands. You got fucking gripper. And it makes the human characters stand out, and it makes Sonic stand out. Now, I'm not saying that the movie version also doesn't stand out in terms of being next to humans, but at least the movie version's hands don't cover the entirety of his legs. Proportions are a huge thing when it comes to characters, and that's also my next point. So, I heard on the grapevine, don't know if this is true, but Fortnite wanted to add Sonic into Fortnite. But they are struggling because how the fuck are they gonna put Sonic in Fortnite without him looking like this? This is exactly what I mean. If they were to ever put Sonic in Fortnite, it probably would have to be the movie version. I mean, they probably have to, like, I don't know, like, resize him a little bit. Like, you know how you take in Photoshop, you just kind of, like, diagonally drag it up? They probably have to do that, but that would work way better than putting, like, the Frontiers character model in there. Because, again, big-ass hands, big-ass shoes, big-ass head. That hitbox is crazy. You're gonna lose every match because you're gonna get constant headshots. Now, this video may sound like a slander piece on the models we have now, and it kind of is, but that's not to say they can't look cool. I mean, obviously, Shadow Gens was filled to the brim with moments that made these character models look absolutely amazing. But just think that much effort into new character models with longer limbs and shorter or smaller appendages, so on and so forth, and then you could really see the expressiveness on them. Like, it would be great, honestly. I would love to see that. And if they don't do any of that, just please add fur to the characters. You wouldn't even really need to call it a redesign. They're just a couple things, and you're just gonna make bro look more like a hedgehog, which I think would be a really good idea. Because when you see Sonic, you don't necessarily think hedgehog. And I don't know if that's what Sega wants you to think. I don't work there. I'm just humble fan who has an opinion. But there's really nothing wrong with making these characters look more like they're animals. And it's why I'm such a big fan of the way the Sonic movie models look at certain times. Because, I don't know, they have these animalistic features. And they just make them look good. When I saw the Shadow Gens DLC, despite my problems with the model, it still looks good. I mean, just thicken out those limbs, make the hands a little bit small. You know what I mean? Like, it's the simple stuff. But it really is just as simple as giving these characters fur. Now, do I think Sega's gonna do this at all? Do I think Sonic Team and Paramount are sitting in the room going, well, we're gonna have to use your model for the games now? No. Despite how big the Sonic movie is, I don't think they're gonna change the model up like that, because that would anger so many Sonic fans, and they just got on the Sonic fans' good side. I don't think they want to do that. But redesigning Sonic would both probably make some people in the fandom happy, or turn a few heads in the fandom, and would also bring in a lot of new people who think Sonic looks like the movies. And hey, I want to play this game because I just watched the movie, and he looks like he's from the movie, so let me play this. It can have great benefits, but it could also have huge downsides. One of those downsides is the Sonic fans. I know the Sonic fans will eat Sega up if they even try to just push the Sonic model we have now to the side and use straight up the movie Sonic. Which is why I said certain things like, you know, give the characters fur, change the limb sizes and the proportions and everything, and even hands up in the air, separate the eyes. I don't know. Honestly, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Sonic should change up his look a little bit, be a little bit more furry? Do you guys think he's fine as he is? Or do you really hate the Forces model and want something different for the next game? I mean, I do, and personally, hands up in the air, Sega, if you want to take my idea, I'll look the other way when you do it, because But yeah, thanks for listening to me yap. Thanks for everything on this channel. Channel's been hitting waves recently, and I really appreciate you guys. But yeah,